This is the former location of the Oxford Apartments at 924 North 25th Street. Jeffrey Dahmer moved into apartment number 213 here after moving out of his grandma's house. He moved here in May of 1990. He killed 12 people in this apartment for a total of 17 before being caught in July of 1991. The apartment used to be where this fenced-in lot is now, and it was torn down in 1992, but this is what it looked like on the exact same spot. What happened on this property is just unthinkable. Dahmer brought part of the remains of his 5th victim here when he moved in, and he killed his 6th victim within a week of moving into this apartment. Within only a year's time, he would take 12 victims here. This is the back alley leading towards where the apartment used to be. Dahmer would have parked here on the left, and he would have used this drive to probably leave or enter his apartment complex. There were numerous complaints against Jeffrey Dahmer in his apartment building. A lot of his neighbors said that his apartment smelled bad, and he always had an explanation, whether it be from expired food in his refrigerator, or at one point he said that some of his tropical fish had died and that was creating a smell, but either way, nobody ever looked into it further. Dahmer was eventually caught when one of his victims got away. Dahmer had put him in a pair of handcuffs, and he eventually escaped, and he found a couple of police officers down the road. He led the police officers back here to the apartment, and at first he just wanted to be able to get let out of the handcuffs, but the cops checked out his room a little bit and saw some things that didn't look quite right, and they ended up finding some body parts and a couple of severed heads in his refrigerator. He also had a blue drum in the middle of his living room, which they eventually figured out was acid, which is how he got rid of some of the bodies. However you look at it though, it's probably good this place is no longer here. On November 20th of 1987, a few years before moving to the apartment on 25th Street, Dahmer encountered a man from Michigan named Stephen Tuomi.
One time I brought this young man back to the hotel room, the Ambassador Hotel. Was just planning on drugging him and spending the night with him. I had no intention of hurting him. When I woke up in the morning, he had a broken rib here. I was heavily bruised. Apparently I had beaten him to death with my fists.
And you have no memory of it?
I have no memory of it. But that's what started the whole spree all over again.
This happened in room 507 here at the Ambassador Hotel, just right down this hallway. Dahmer woke up next to a lifeless Stephen, and he had bruises on his arms, hands, and wrists. The Ambassador Hotel does still rent out this room. There are numerous reports of this room being haunted and people not getting a very good night's sleep. This obviously is not the original bed, but this is where it would have been. Not much in the room is original, but I do believe that the tub in the sink is original. Once Dahmer woke up, he freaked out a little bit, and he left the hotel to go find a suitcase, a very large suitcase. He would have went down these elevators right here, and then he came back up and stuffed Stephen's body into the suitcase and took the body to his grandmother's house. These elevators are very old, so I have no doubt they're original. And you do get a pretty creepy vibe when you're riding in it. Now after this, what he ended up doing with the body is pretty horrific, and I'm going to spare you the details in this video. If you're curious and want to look it up, that's fine, but it's a little too gruesome to try to share in this story. Now he would have most likely came out this way and back to this parking lot where he would have loaded his suitcase. Now, based on where the elevator was located in the building and the hallways and where it ended up, this would have been room 507 right here. Now, this is on 219 South 2nd Street. This location used to be called Club 219, which was a bar downtown that Jeffrey Dahmer used to frequent. He met many of his victims here and ended up bringing them back to his apartment where they met their fate. It's no longer here, and it's pretty much an abandoned building now, but this is the location of it right here. In the future, I will cover more locations in this area, as well as more crime scenes, and other interesting places and videos related to interesting and famous people. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, or subscribe to our channel for new content all the time. And leave in the comment section if you happen to know any other locations that you would like to see, or that you happen to know about or have visited. Thanks for checking it out, and we'll catch you on the next one.